Another one. Oh, I know I am ready for another one. All right, all right, all right. And away we go into the podcast world yet again. Super excited that we're launching into our 10th year next year. We are going to get started with a great show for today. All right, all right, everybody. Hello out there. Are you ready again? I'm your host, Jessica Koch, and we are back. We are back with Profound Professionals because, we never went anywhere. We've been rolling for almost 10 years. Believe it, believe it. I am going to share with you two amazing people. Phil is the very few words, but very big point. He helps build your network. That's right. He's going to build your network for you. So if you want a partner that is going to work with you like that, then you're going to want to stick around and hear what Phil has to do for you and how he serves. And Kathryn is so much fun. Kathryn is right where I think we all need to be. She is an emotional strategy coach, Reiki Master, sound therapist, and yoga meditation guide and multi-dimensional human. I think that is super profound. And welcome to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Hello, thanks for having us.
This is going to be loads and loads of fun. All right. We always do this ladies first thing. And
yeah, of course.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna flip the script, and I'm gonna have Phil tell us a little bit about how are you building our network and what made you decide, you know what, that's going to be my mission in life. I am going to build other people's networks. Where did that come from? What's a bit of your journey story?
Well, I come from sales, 40 years in sales, 33 of it being cold calling. So I sold cars. I went door to door.
That's the good stuff, Phil. And I'm going to say this for all the world to hear is cold calling is not dead. And every cold call can be somewhat warm. You shouldn't call anyone that you have no connection whatsoever with. And today's world, there's enough research out there to say, I see that this is your mission. It's in line with my mission. How can we collaborate? This is a warm call. I just read your book. Everybody, and almost anybody worth calling today has a book or one in progress or an amazing program. Or I saw a video on your program, and you can call and say, I want to learn more. So I don't think there is a such thing as a really cold call if you do it right. What do you think, Phil?
Oh, I agree 100%. I kind of figured that out a long time ago where I join a network or join a group chamber or something like that. And I'd call and say, I'm with the chamber like you are, get that on the same page. Right. And then start the conversation from there. Right. So, yeah, I did merchant services door to door, handed out business cards, never knew anything about business networking until 2018. I accidentally found a BNI group and I thought I found the golden egg and I started doing tons of one-to-ones. I'm like, oh, meet with me. This is crazy. So I did 500 one-to-ones my first year, and I went on to do 5,000 one-to-ones. And I always wanted to create something where I'm not in any competition with people. I'm a big collaborator. And so when we created our group, we wanted to build other people's networks for them. And so that's what we do. We don't do any meetings. We let everybody else shine and do those awesome meetings. And we just build your network behind the scenes and make introductions for you.
And is it connected to a software?
Yes. So it's our own platform, and we're like the directory. So I'm actually helping out a number of communities where we're the directory behind the scenes. We have you have their phone number, email address, and their calendar link. So that way, when we say, hey, you should meet this person, you can easily just book on their calendar instead of that back and forth. How should we work this out? Right. So that's been my strength. And so we build the directory and let other people shine and do all the meetings. And then we're looking to just add more value all the time.
So is an individual entrepreneur going to come to you and pay to be in the directory, or is there a membership, or are they working with you from a coaching standpoint, or how is this approached?
Yeah. So we have we meet you wherever you're at. We just recently started a free school group where I'm going to teach you how to properly network, how to get an endless stream of referrals from your one-to-ones. Because what a lot of people are not doing is teaching what happens after the one-to-one. So they go do one-to-ones, and then what do we do? We get about 10% of people buy from us, and then after that, we maybe don't do anything with them, or maybe throw them on our newsletter, right? And you may never interact with that person again. We have a unique way of staying in contact with people. It's getting a 55% open rate. Which anybody in marketing goes, holy crud, how'd you do that, right? And so, and they're sending us introductions. Like we've been doing the connector community for 18 months now, and we've gotten over 600 introductions. Other people have said you need to meet Phil.
Who's your ideal client? So who's really coming to you?
We're a B2B network. So B2C doesn't work for our model at this point. So B2B, and if you can offer a business product or service and you can serve a worldwide market, we're perfect.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So if you fall in that category at all, it's totally safe to have some sort of discovery call to see where they could step in and possibly work with you, whether they want to take the training or if they want to be in a directory, or if there's other ways you can serve and support them at different, I'm imagining at different
levels.
Scales.
I like to meet them where they're at, right? So there's so much busyness out there right now, the grind network, or the grind whatever they call it. We have to go all the time. And we're trying to create a safe haven for people. Like, you can rest here because we've met all the people. We'll continue. Our job is to do all the meeting of the people and bring in vetted people. So when you need that bookkeeper, we can give you 3 or 4 that we've already vetted, those types of things. So as your business grows, we can introduce you to the right people. And that's why we're saying we build your network for you. So so just come, it's home. You can relax. We got you.
And what's the best way for them to set up that conversation with you to figure out where they would fit in that space?
Yeah, great question. In the notes, we're going to put a link to a tour that we do every single week for you guys to come. But if you guys are listening to this, just go on Facebook, Phil Herrington, HERRINGTON, and message us there, and we'll get you taken care of. We'll invite you to the tour.
I love that, Phil. I love that. And Kathryn, what you're doing is so important for the different entrepreneurs, having that emotional intelligence and having that space to meditate and having that place to decompress. I think one of the biggest things that business owners make a mistake with is failing to schedule time to make a plan. And part of that, I think, for me is taking my time to meditate and pray, and then taking my space to take a deep breath and look at, okay, what really is my life mission, and how does that fit with my business mission, and what legacy do I want to leave, and what am I doing in my business, and what does my next quarter, next year look like, so that I'm achieving that. And I feel like you would be instrumental in that kind of a piece. So tell us about how the sound therapist, the emotional strategy coach, came to be.
Thank you for that. Yes, and that's exactly why I've created this space for myself, is because I saw that need as being a budding entrepreneur myself. And that was one of the things that I struggled with so much, was creating that space for myself. And then I noticed that on those days when I did create those spaces and I did give myself that time to do a movement practice, for me, it's yoga. Some people it's running or working out. I found that when I did carve out that time for myself, my day just ran better. It ran smoother. I was more productive. My mood was, much friendlier than just jumping out of the bed and trying to get on with the day. So it kind of came from necessity, and it also came from burnout in another career. So I was working as a production manager in entertainment for live events. And while it was something that I did love, and I went to grad school for it, and I was working in it for over a decade, there just got to a time where I burnt out. And I had been giving myself space to do my own morning routine because I love a slow morning. I'm all about taking my time in the morning. And I try not to schedule meetings before 9 because I'm getting ready. So even though I had been doing those things from a while I was still in entertainment, I wasn't feeling that energetic pull and that
Mm,
fulfillment. It was like
Mhm.
I was great at the job, and on paper, everything sounded great, but there was no emotions in it for me.
mhm,
And it wasn't until I started teaching yoga at the studio that I trained at, which it was never my intention to become a yoga teacher. I took the teacher training solely so that I could work it around my entertainment schedule and not have to go to a studio to do yoga. And then I would
Yeah.
have the pose right in my body. Uh,
mm,
Um,
so it was kind of ironic that I started teaching yoga, but I had this one moment. I was teaching an early morning class. It started at 6:30, and I had one girl who came into this one particular class, and she was like, I was looking forward to this since last night. I have a really long tough day at work ahead of me. Like I'm going right into the office after this. And I was like, me too. And then she just like messaged me later on in the day. She's like, my day has been so great because I did yoga, and I made such a heartfelt connection with her
mhm,
that I just felt that pull, and I was like, this is it. This is where I'm meant to help
mhm.
people.
Mhm.
Because I was way more fulfilled with that one class, with teaching smaller classes, than I was hosting events for thousands, quite literally thousands of people. And while working in entertainment, I realized not a lot of business professionals or people in general were really taught how to regulate their emotions. So it's like when you would get, no, we can't do it this way, or, well, we have to check with the IP and make sure that this color is to their IP. Some people would fly off the rails just because they didn't have the tool to safely express their frustration or why those added steps were a nuisance in one way or another to the project.
sure.
So that's when, while I was in entertainment, I went back to school via online to get my coaching certification in cognitive behavioral therapeutic techniques. And then I started working with people on the side of how to shift their thought
Mhm.
patterns and
Mhm.
change their behaviors. So then once I had that epiphany with that girl in the yoga class, then I started making the trend where I was like, okay, it's time to slowly fade out entertainment and move into the holistic world. So that happened.
So, who, Catherine, would you say you're serving? Are you working with people who are working for corporations and in careers like team members and employees? Or are you working with entrepreneurs more and business, small business owners? Or is it a little bit of both? Who's coming to you for support?
It's a little bit of both. So the
Mhm,
way that you were talking about entrepreneurs and how people need that help creating that balance and giving themselves a strategy, that's
mhm,
honestly the people that I've been working with. A lot of entrepreneurs, some people who are a part of corporate organizations. Um, and I also support people through addiction. So there's a lot of people that I
mhm,
see working that are
Mhm.
just making big life transitions for themselves.
mhm,
Uh, but my ideal target client is someone who's already emotionally aware and can sense
Mhm.
the emotions that are coming up.
Mhm.
They're just in that burnt out state and lack the tools on how to provide a safe structure to release those emotions.
Mhm.
That's really awesome. So, what's the best way for them to work with you? And is it all one on one? Are you doing any group or workshops or anything like that?
So right now, it's mostly one-on-one. I do have a mentorship program that's monthly. So right now, I have that structured as one-on-one. But as that grows, my goal is to make that more into a group structure. So when we have our biweekly calls, it'll be open up to the group.
I think that'll be awesome.
Mhm.
That'll be great. How can they find you, Catherine, to talk about what might be right for them?
Beautiful question. So you can go to Facebook and look at Eipl Healing, EIPL Healing. And you can send me a message there. You can also go onto my website, which is eiplhealing.com, EIPL healing. And all my contact information is there. You can even message me directly through the website and set up a time to meet, and also look at all the different services I offer. And if you have questions as to what would work best for you, then we can hop on a discovery call and chat about what you're going through and ultimately where you want to be.
I think
Mhm.
I think you'd be great to have as a guest too in a lot of groups. Like I can see,
Mhm.
groups for, people who have just been through divorce or just become a widow
Mhm.
or, just moved out of corporate and started their own business or, all those just, right? They're
Mhm.
just turning that corner. Or they're
Mhm.
transitioning from their career to what's next. So many people are in this 50 to 70 age bracket and they're like, okay, well,
Yes.
now what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah. Even
Uh,
those people that are empty nesters, or they're
yeah,
ready, they're calling it the second act, right?
yeah.
So
Mhm.
you might start saying, I'm looking for people in transition, because
Hmm.
that automatically says, right, those things that you're saying. So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I should get with you, Phil. You could help me connect with some people, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. He's
100%.
he's the connector, man. He's the connector for sure,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
have a few clients who are, in their retirement and they have
Hmm.
their goals that they're working on.
Hmm.
So it's really interesting because I serve a whole range of clientele, and honestly, I love it because it keeps my job interesting, and
Hmm.
Hmm.
it really doesn't feel like work at all. It feels like I really get to drop in with each person.
Well, I'm going to have you soak for a minute and think about what an amazing, amazing tip would be for us, Kathryn, because I'm going to get Phil to give us one right now. So, Phil, what about, we were just giving Kathryn some really, we're listing off all the things that we immediately think of and giving support right here in the call. But give us a tip that people can use when they're doing some of the work that you're up to.
Yeah. So when you networking, I'm going to say, always say yes to a one-to-one, because you have
Mm.
no idea who they know, what their spouse does, what they're doing now, but they'll be doing different in 2 years. You just never know, right? And I can actually count back 16 generations till I got a sale by saying yes to the one-to-ones, right? And so I
Wow.
met this person, and
Wow.
16 generations later, I call them generations, I just mean connections, and then boom, that one became a sale. So you never know where it's going to lead you. And as long as the person is awesome, and that's what most people are, they're amazing at what they do. They just don't have they're not, there's not enough for not enough people are seeing what they do, right? And so that's
Mhm.
my job, is to put you in front of more people and make it fast for you. But yeah, so I always say, just make sure you take the one-to-one and be awesome, and don't try to sell them on the first call. Just be awesome and see how you can collaborate. So
I love that, and I would
Thank
say,
you.
my add-on is I was forced to, years ago, be creative with how my one-on-ones worked because, you said, you made a statement early on. You said you had 500 one-on-ones and you had 5,000 one-on-ones,
mhm.
and that made me cringe because, I had 50 one-on-ones in a week once scheduled, and some people are like, "Oh yeah, I want to fill my calendar," and I'm always thinking, "No, I want to unfill my calendar because my calendar is
Mhm.
so full." And so years and years ago, our company started doing a small, intimate group getting to know you call, and it's truly, it's 3 rounds. It's really an agenda of getting to know people. The first round, everyone does the who you are, where you're from, and it's only a handful of people. And then the second round, we really go deeper. We get, do they have a word of the year? Do they have a big goal? What are their
Mhm.
hobbies? What are they interested in? What are the other things they're up to? Causes they're supporting. We talk about other stuff. And then there's a chance for everyone to ask everyone in the room a question in the third round. And so we just talk. And so it really is like the feel of a one-on-one, but I can, I have 3 spots on a week on my calendar for that. And I can meet anywhere from, 3 to 8 people in one of those sessions, and everyone gets a lot of value, and it really helps to know okay, who's the person you were in that room out of those 5 or 8 that we need to have an hour long one-on-one because there's so much there, right? To uncover even further and further. But I like to kayak, paint, and sew, Phil. And I like long walks on the beach with my hot hunky husband. And, I want to say yes to all the one-on-ones, but I want it to be my version of a small group one-on-one because
Yes.
I need to breathe.
Yeah, and we do the same thing because I used to do 100 one-to-ones a month, and then we got overwhelmed, and so now we do 3 tours a week, which is like what you're talking about.
Yes, yeah.
So
Find a
anywhere
way
from
to
3 to
like,
8 people. Yeah.
yeah, find a way to make that still that intimate relationship connection. I totally believe in that. That's also why I started doing the panel style interviews.
Yeah.
There's so many people and so little time, and I love it so much. So, all right, we're going to get a great tip from Kathryn now. We gave her a little bit of time to stew on it, so it's going to be outstanding. All the pressure in the world, Kathryn. What do you got for us?
Oh, thank you.
We're supposed to say no pressure, but I never do things the way we're supposed to do them.
Well, it wouldn't be fun if you did them the way we were supposed to do them. Life's about fun. All right. So my tip is it goes along the lines with Phil's of be awesome, be authentic, be yourself. And when you're in the midst of shifting behavioral habits, whatever it may be, or even thought patterns, and you can feel yourself getting ready to react, take a pause. I would
Good
take
one.
I would take a pause, just put my hand on my heart and close my eyes and take a deep breath and slowly exhale and then play the tape. Like play the tape knowing how you would respond with your reaction and then play the tape choosing a different way. And then when you open your eyes, you can choose something different than your previous reaction. So I find that that's a great tool to use while you're in the beginning of that transition.
That's
A pause.
beautiful. I love
Yeah,
that.
a pause and a breath are so
Mhm.
powerful in so many ways. A pause can do so much in even when you're speaking and you're making a presentation, that
Yeah.
pause can be so impactful. And I love that you give that direction. And, it reminds me too of when I was reading, I wish I remember whose book it was. It was one of the most impactful organizational books I've ever read on how to, organize your environment because you're
Okay.
really organizing your thoughts, right? When you're
Yes.
doing this and you're giving yourself that moment to breathe. What they said was pay attention to what you do now. If you walk in the front door and you drop all your stuff right there, or you take 5 more steps and drop everything on the dining room table, then build a system of organization around that habit. Don't try to change your
Yes.
habit. Build a place for everything in its place, but in that zone so that you can still just let go of everything, but it'll actually be in an organized manner, if that makes sense. Like a hook on the wall there for the keys or for the purse or whatever, so that instead of going on a dining room table, it's on a hook on the wall right next to it instead, right? Or whatever, right?
Exactly.
But I loved that idea of paying attention to what is it that we do naturally and not forcing ourselves out of that space. And I think that's what you were talking about when you were in, because you got the education and because you liked it when you were young and because you were involved in event planning, you were kind of putting yourself in that peg, but it was no longer a fit. Right. And so trying to force ourselves into a space where it's no longer a fit is never going to bring us joy or success or the results that we really want
Exactly.
in a full capacity, right? We might have the financial results, but we won't have the feeling of passion or purpose and joy. So, you make trade-offs unless you really get in touch with where you want to go. So I love that listening to yourself, so be open to lots of one-on-ones and be open to listening to yourself and taking a pause so that you can hear how you would really like to respond versus how you might knee-jerk
Yes.
react, right? What
Yes.
I'd like to sound like if I was on recording. I always used to ask, but I used to ask myself, I'm the mom of a lot of kids. You could laugh if you want, but I always used to ask myself, if I was being recorded right now, what kind of mom would I want to be? Like if someone were videotaping me, I need to get on my knees, eye level, deep breath, calm words, and loving. That was how I kept myself in check. Otherwise, I might have gone banana.
That's such a good tactic, though, because it's
Yeah.
easy to get swept up in emotions. So it's, that's your version of playing the tape. It's like, okay, well, if other people were watching this right now, how
Right.
would I want to be perceived?
That's right.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah, and I would encourage all you guys. I'm almost there with you, Jessica. I have 5 kids, and we homeschooled all our kids, so we're with them all the time. So that gets a little chaotic sometimes.
It can.
And then with Kathryn, the breathing thing is so important. I recently, we were talking right before the show, went through a program about breathing your feelings down to 0, right? And then once you're able to do that, you have those tools. You're no longer like me. I was afraid of the world. I was afraid of my emotions. I was afraid to process them. Right. So as I process them, I got this freed up brain space, and all of a sudden I'm working out more and I'm doing more with my wife and I'm connecting better with her and my business and everything. And it was funny because you'll go after you think the problem is I need more sales, or I think the problem is I need more blank. But really what it is, you got to get comfortable with yourself. Right. So, yeah, Kathryn's work is amazing. So
Yeah.
all those people that do those modalities, we're so disconnected from ourselves in this day and age. We have to get connected. So
Well,
Yes, and that's exactly why I just love and I'm so passionate about this work. And you've experienced a version of that too, just really creating that space for you to fearlessly go in and encounter your emotions.
yes,
Because we can't move freely as our authentic selves until we face those emotions.
yes,
and when we're our best version of ourselves and we're well connected and successful and making lots of sales, then we are able to pour into the world, into the community, which leads us into a cause that's close to your heart. It's something I'm very proud of that our show Profound Professionals has done since episode 1. Is we hope that you out there watching are typing in the comments a cause that you care about, and when someone's kind enough to press the share button, we're spreading some awareness. We always ask our guests to share because we just might inspire someone to give time, treasure, or talent to a cause they hear about, or a cause that they remember that they care about, or maybe they'll hear about a cause that they need, or they know someone needs that support from. And either way, we're doing something rock star good, and our show is even more wonderful and powerful than getting you to know Phil and Kathryn. We're doing just a micro sprinkle of some sparkly good in the world as we go. So, Phil, what's a cause you care about?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's a little bit of a story. My wife, we've been together for 8 years now. She was born in Indonesia because they grew up on the mission field. Her parents were missionaries, and they were part of a group called Mission Aviators Fellowship. So they take these guys that want to give back to the Lord, but they're maybe not great speakers or whatever, but they teach them to be these bush pilots so they can go everywhere in the world that you can't get roads and stuff like that to, and spread the gospel. And so just love their mission. Mission Aviators Fellowship is actually here in Boise. So they do a fantastic job. And her mom was involved with it for 40 some years. They just retired from it. So it was like a total family thing, right? So, but it's a great organization that really gets the message, right? Because they're going to those tribes that they don't even speak their language, and then they translate the Bible for them, and now they have a Bible in their own word. It's just amazing work they're doing. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's heartwarming.
How about you, Kathryn? What do you got? Do you have a cause that you care about?
Yeah, I really love the Nature Conservancy and their goal to really just protect all the different wildlife in the world and to make sure that people who are facing natural disasters get the funding that they need. So that's one of the causes that I've just been more aware of and promoting and donating more to lately as we've been facing some more natural disasters than more than normal. So,
Yes, we have had a lot of fires and all different things in all different
mhm.
parts of the world. And I think that's lovely. So thank you for sharing that. So we did our moment and our sprinkle of joy and good in the world. And I hope you're out there doing it too. Now we're going to talk about books. If you wrote a book, put it in the comments. If you have a favorite book that inspired you, put it in the comments. You just don't know. I always say, I love that saying. I don't always say it. Somebody really brilliant said it, and if you know who, put it in the comments because I don't remember who. But they said something along the lines of, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Mm.
And I think that's the same with books. So we're going to talk about books that inspired our personal life or helped us grow our business. Phil, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Atomic Habits.
That's a good one.
Mm,
That's a
mhm.
good one. That when you were talking about that, when you were
Hmm.
talking about the, you're dropping your stuff there and let's make it happen. I like that. You could
Hmm.
just be 1% better every day. Everybody, it's a
Hmm.
goal. It's achievable.
Hmm.
And it just makes sense, right? Put it into your routine that's already there. If you're drinking your coffee, why don't you read 10 pages of whatever, right? While
Mhm.
you're drinking your coffee. Now you're getting better. And I love that because I'm very routine oriented. So it just made a lot of sense. So,
I love that book too. And I'm in a book club for years now. And we've been through so many books, and that's one of them. We went through Atomic Habits, and we have this way of doing it. It's an hour a week on Friday, an early Friday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And it's a small group of us women, and we'll take turns, not because we're only women, just because no men have joined us, but um, and we read a little bit of it, so I don't have to, like, it doesn't give me homework. I love that about this book club. There's no homework. We actually take turns reading little sections of the book, and it'll take us many months to get through a book, because then we'll do the exercises and we'll go around and ask, if that brought anything up for anyone, or we take our time with it and really ingest and apply the book to our lives in a way I've never experienced. And I've read a lot of amazing books. So, we did that with Atomic Habits too. So I love that you
mm-hmm.
shared that book. Kathryn, how about you? A book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
Yeah, so there are so many to choose from. I as well loved Atomic Habits, but what I love about the book that I'm going to recommend is it breaks down the science behind all the things that I do. So
Mm,
it's called Why Woo Woo Works,
mm,
and it has several different studies about breath work, meditation, the benefits of prayer, Reiki, uh, color therapy, and even talks about some crystals as
mm,
well. But I'm a very science minded person, believe it or not. Like
Mm.
10 years ago, if someone told me I'd be doing what I do now, I would have laughed at them. And now that I'm here, it makes all the sense in the world. And it feels like I've just been doing it forever. Uh, but Why Woo Woo Works really is a detailed scientific approach behind the what is considered woo woo, the new age spirituality aspects.
Well, I will share 3 books that will be like, super candy to Kathryn if you haven't read them already, because they're so in your world. So the one book we're doing right now in our book club is, Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot about a manifestation.
Yeah.
There's one I recently have been introduced to, and I am like obsessed to get into it. But it's a monster book. But it's one of those books that I already can see it worn and marked and tabbed, and like,
Ooh.
because I just got it and I already know that's where this book is going, where I'll be reading it and reading it. It's called Gene Keys. Have you read Gene Keys
I
yet?
love that book.
I
Yes, I've
knew
read the
you
whole
would.
thing.
I knew you would love that book. Here's another one, and maybe you haven't read this one because this is super good too. It's Quantum NLP. Have you read Quantum NLP by
No, I haven't. It is on my list,
Kathryn
though. You
Eipl?
are like the third person to recommend it to me,
Oh, well,
actually.
then the
I
universe is
have
talking
to.
to you.
Yeah,
What
you
are you
almost
waiting
free.
for? Pay attention. I actually listened to the audio. She has a European accent. I forget where she's from, but the library had it on audio, and she read her own book,
Oh,
and it was awesome. But please do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Directly go and get Quantum NLP because it's apparently like the student is ready. It's the
yeah, I
universe
have to make a note of that.
tapping on you that it's time for you to have that book.
Hey,
Okay.
and then speaking of books, real quick, if people listen to them, I use Audible all the time. And some
Mhm.
people don't know this, but you can return a book for any reason up to 1 year.
Really?
On
Yep.
Audible?
Just got to call customer service and they'll allow you to
Oh,
return up to a year, no reason. So,
I use the library too.
yeah, library is
People
free,
forget,
right? So that's great.
grown-ups forget that, oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
true.
library has all these apps. I just listen to an app on my phone and I borrow it right through my app and
Oh, that's
it's
great.
all free. And I put in the subject I want and a bunch of audios come up and I pick one and drive and take me, listen to my little audiobook. And yeah, so people forget to use their free resources. The library has a lot of free resources for entrepreneurs. They have databases, they have information, they have all kinds of resources that they pay for that are very expensive. That if the business owner were try to go use it
hmm.
without their library card, it would cost quite a bit of money. So don't forget to see as a business owner what your library can do for
Mhm,
you.
mhm.
Um, now, Phil, tell us just a bit more, something else wow or wonderful about your program, and then we're going to get that from Kathryn, and we're going to start to pull ourselves together here at the end of our show.
Okay, cool. We part of our program, when you're a member over here, is we have a thing called the Connectors Collective. So all the amazing people I've met, I wanted to create a community university. So
Mm-hmm.
the community is teaching the rest of the community. So we've kind of gone with this vision of it takes a village to raise a family. It takes a community to build your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, we're going to have the people that I know, they've either experienced their service or I know they're amazing or they're going to show me what they can do. And when then they can teach inside of our platform that comes with your membership. And then we do those two vetted introductions for you every single week. And our connector code is blowing up. It's you should be getting one introduction for every one-to-one you do. So if you do 200 one-to-ones this year, you should expect with our program 200 introductions coming back to you, and we're turning random networking into strategic networking. So imagine if
Ooh.
you're actually meeting with all the people that can send you a referral. So that's what I'm trying to get the word out about is move from random networking to strategic networking, and we have an
Mm-hmm.
automated system to do that.
I love that, Phil. How about you, Kathryn? Anything else you want to share about your services or your modalities or your programs that you feel like people really need to hear?
Yeah, so what I've started doing this year is initially I was offering all of my different services a la carte, and
Mhm.
then I noticed that I just kept mixing three repeatedly with
Mhm.
clients. And so I've decided to create a program for those three. It involves cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, which are things that I've written worksheets and thought trackers for. So we'll go through that process together. And then Reiki and sound healing. So not only are we working on the cognitive mental aspect of your shift and transition, we're also attacking it through the energetics emotional side as well. So you're
Mhm.
getting all three components covered through the method neuroresonance. And that I've seen just has such a great lasting impact on people
Mhm.
because first it starts with that awareness in your thoughts. And then as we develop that awareness, then we move into the energetic and emotional side. At the same time, we're still working on the cognitive stuff and we'll still work on it until like all the way through to the end of the program. But that's what I have. And you get a journal called the Power Affirmation Journal with it.
I love
So
that.
we'll pick a section in there. There are 7 different sections that are broken out to 7 major different sections of life. So we'll pick one and really focus in and get nitty gritty about all those details so that we can manifest that shift into our reality.
I love
Wow.
that.
So good. So
Yeah,
good.
it really is. You know, I've had a ton of fun having both of you as guests today, and I hope you guys have had a good time too.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
been a
you.
lot of fun. Thank you for having us.
It is my pleasure. And if you're out there thinking, wait, I can improve someone's personal life, I can grow their business, I have great ideas, I have books, I have programs, I have all the things, and I need to get on this show, well, reach out to my team and we'll tell you just what to do so that you can be on the show too. But before we say goodbye today, we are going to ask our guests to share a final thought, a piece of information or inspiration as we head out on our way today. Phil, what do you have for us?
One of my favorite sayings, you're just one connection away.
That's right. That's right. Right. What was it? 3 degrees of separation from a piece of bacon.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And now with our world the way it is, it's like 1 degree. It's so crazy, right? So
Mhm.
That's
but
right.
yes, that's
That's
awesome.
right. That's awesome. I love that. All right. How about you, Kathryn? Do you have a final thought for us?
I do. Start with doing what seems possible, what feels manageable, and then before you know it, you're doing what you thought was impossible.
Very good.
That is a
Very good.
great one.
I
This has
like that.
been an amazing show, if I don't say so myself. I am your host, Jessica Hutch. This is Profound Professionals. And until the next time, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other.